Welcome to the Hearts Entwined podcast. In this podcast, we'll be having discussions around the secrets which attract lasting, healthy, fulfilling relationships, creating a healthy mindset, and what women should know and understand about men. Introducing your host, Lynn Smith, the Queen of Hearts, relationship expert, trainer, speaker, and best-selling author of the Cupid's Bow technique. Lynn's mission is to have a positive impact in reducing divorce, domestic violence, and suicide.
Welcome to the Hearts Entwined podcast. This is your host, Lynn Smith, the Queen of Hearts. And today, listeners, I've got a brand new guest. She's recently been introduced to me, and I thought this woman is amazing. I need to get her on the show. And this is Monika Bammi. Good morning, Monika.
Oh, hi, Lynn. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me here. I truly feel blessed to be in your company and in your audience company.
Thank you. It's very, very special for me to have you on. Monika is a life coach, NLP practitioner, and a Reiki Master. So would you give our audience members a bit of an idea as to what all those three job titles briefly entail, because some of them won't have a clue as to what that means?
Yeah, so Reiki, I won't bombard you with a lot of information, because when it comes to Reiki, I can literally talk all day long because I'm very passionate about Reiki. Reiki is very much healing, it's a positive energy. And when your chakras, there are 7 energy points in your body. When any of those chakras or energy points are out of sync, you may feel sort of out of balance. Let's say your throat. If your throat chakra is out of balance, people tend to sort of bottle things up, or they feel they're not being able to express the feelings how they want to express, or they feel very anxious, stressed, or nervous. And that's just one of your chakras, and those are your emotional symptoms. So when your chakra goes out of balance, you start to show the emotions, and then you start to show the physical symptoms. So what Reiki does is helps you balance those energy points, all of them, so you can literally live the life the way you want, attract the things you want without working hard. Life coaching, we talk about all the areas anybody wants to work on, any goals that you want to achieve, and you sort of need that little helping hand, the accountability person who can work with your goals to help you get there. NLP practitioner, it's a neuro-linguistic programming where we might work on your phobias, we might work on your confidence, limiting beliefs. So you work on different techniques, and you do different techniques through NLP to help you get rid of those limiting beliefs and phobias and guilt or any other emotions. And and I do many other complementary therapies, meditation, many things, you name it.
Excellent. So, when it comes to mindset and behaviors and the language we speak and the actions we take, then it sounds like you've got lots of great positive techniques that can help people progress.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
heal.
Yeah.
Okay, so talking off air, we were thinking that, something around overcoming stress in relationships or managing stress in relationships would be a good thing or topic to talk about in today's session. So how does stress show up, and what do you think, the majority of listeners will probably be able to relate to in the current climate?
Yes, stress. I guess when you're living on your own and you're going through stress, I guess it's harder. But when you're in a relationship and you're going through stress, it impacts everybody in the household. It impacts your partner, it impacts on the kids, it impacts on people around you. And when it comes to stress, what it does is, if you carry on staying in the stress mode, it literally turns your life upside down. And when we're in a relationship, we all love to have a deeper connection in the relationship we are in. And without that, we feel lost, we feel lonely, and we feel very much incomplete. Now, stress accumulated over the time causes a lot of issues in a relationship. It causes a lot of uncertainty. It causes restlessness. We fall out of love with our partner. We stop understanding each other. We stop caring about each other. We don't really care how the other person is feeling or thinking. And we start to go our own ways. We live separate lives. We keep ourselves busy just to fill the void. And all we are wanting is that deep connection with a partner. And there's so many factors that can cause stress in a relationship. And I'll just mention a few, but there are many, many more. Factors could be a lack of understanding between each other. It could be lack of finances, being on a different wavelength. Cultural issues can cause a lot of stress between couples. Different parenting styles causes a lot of stress. I know I have 3 daughters, and my husband parenting styles are very different to mine, and that could cause stress unless you come to some sort of an agreement or compromise. Being unhappy at work and not feeling good enough about yourself can cause a lot of stress, and then that literally your relationship is drifting away.
Okay, so thinking about some of those examples, have you got any case studies that you could probably share with us where you've recently, helped a client through one of those issues, and what was the issue and how did you help them manage that?
Yes, I have lots of clients that come through and they will say, Monika, I feel distant from my partner, or I feel I don't deserve that relationship, or it just feels it too good to be true and it's just going to go one day, and they don't feel secure in the relationship. Either they don't feel good enough in the relationship, or they just don't think they deserve it, or they say they worry all the time and they can't switch off and they can't enjoy the relationship. And then obviously I mix all my treatments to give my clients the best results. So whereas we might do Reiki, we might do chakra balancing, and I'll mix it with some techniques that we'll go through at the end, give them the techniques that can literally lift them up and relieve the stress and anxiety so they can focus on things. So once the clients have had a few sessions and they've done the technique, very, very simple, easy, but very powerful techniques, they come back and say, you know what, Monika, I managed to have a really good conversation with my partner and I feel very much connected. She feels close to me. I'm starting to love her all over again. And then some will say, you know what, I don't worry anymore because I know worry does nothing. We all know worry does nothing, but we need to get to the point where we do truly know that worry does nothing. And they say, you know what, I can put my feet up and enjoy my cup of tea, and I can enjoy moments with my family and create new memories. So it makes reducing the stress and anxiety makes a massive difference in anybody's life.
I think we can all probably relate to the quote that 90% of our worries never happen. So there's no point in worrying about it because what goes on in our head is usually far more than the actual reality, isn't it?
Absolutely. And sometimes we know that worry isn't going to do anything, so we worry. And so many parents will come and say, I worry about my kids all the time. I can't stop. I can't switch off. I'm losing sleep over it. I'm lacking energy. I'm tired all the time. So all those emotions are just piling up. And did you know that within 7 minutes of your body releasing cortisol, which is a stress hormone, you could lose up to 50% of your IQ? Isn't that crazy?
What?
50% of your IQ within 7 minutes. And then when we are in that stress mode, we tend not to make intelligent decisions.
That's very true. I think, because we can let our minds start to rule us and think that, I've got no control in this situation, when actually, when we really step back and think about it, we do have control in that situation, because quite often I feel that people think that their thoughts, control them, and they absolutely don't have to, do they? That doesn't have to be the case. You can become more conscious and aware of them and capture them and start to challenge them.
Absolutely, because when we are thinking, and I do tell my clients that when you're thinking, if the feeling or the thought gave you a feeling, and if that feeling isn't the one that you like, you can literally instantly recognize that, be aware of it, and you can change it, because we are in very much control of our thoughts and emotions and feelings. So as soon as you realize something you thought about didn't make you feel good, try to replace that rather than going into the downward spiral.
Yeah, because otherwise you know, one thought can lead to a more even more powerful negative thought, which can then make you feel even worse, can't it? And like you say, you can, before you know it, you can end up right down the rabbit hole of your own self-talk, so to speak.
Absolutely. And it takes very long time for you to pull yourself back up, or you may need a lot of help. And that's how, then again, going back to the Reiki, that's how your chakras or energy points goes out of balance, because you're going in that downward spiral, and then your energies are out of sync. You feel out of balance. You feel like you're stressed and anxious all the time, or you're having digestive problem issues. People tend to complain about IBS, indigestion, bloating, or they don't feel grounded, or they don't feel certain in life. It's all sort of the symptoms that your energy's gone out of whack.
So just to touch on a little bit around the chakras, because I do find this a little bit of a fascinating subject, which I've not really delved much into. Is there certain chakras, like you said, that will show up in terms of what symptoms? Because I know, for example, myself, I do have that indigestion problem. I have that acid reflux, and I'm thinking, what might be causing that? Because I do practice, gratitude, and I do practice meditation, and I do practice, having as relaxed a life and a more positive attitude to life as possible. But I still find that I have this as an issue. So what might be the cause of something like that?
So your chakras goes out of balance for different reasons. That could be a relationship breakdown. It could be a bereavement in the family. It could be any emotions that we're holding on for a very long time. So what happens is, let's say somebody had a relationship breakdown, and after a while they pick themselves up. They say, you know what, I need to get on with my life. You sort of start to maintain your energy. Now, let's say if somebody did have a relationship breakdown, they felt really bad, they're going into depression, you're going down in a spiral, which means your energies are now being low for some time, and now your energies are out of sync. So with the solar plex chakra, when somebody's solar plex chakra is out, which is just above your belly button, we tend to feel very angry, annoyed, and frustrated very quickly. So we become very snappy. We become very tired, lethargic. Sometimes we feel there's a lack of willpower or lack of motivation. And then obviously these are your emotional symptoms. And if you don't pick up the energy, and if you don't balance your energy, then you tend to start showing the physical symptoms, which are your indigestion, IBS, acid reflux, bloating. And then when you're feeling under stress, you may sort of feel rashy or itchy on your skin. And it can also give you poor metabolism. And then people tend to sometimes say they're reacting to the food they'd never reacted in the past. Now that literally all those symptoms are just for your solar plex that is out of balance. And it really doesn't take long to balance those chakras. It's just having the knowledge that your energies might be out of balance, and then having them balanced. I have so many clients come from first session to 6, and by the time they get to the 6th session, 90% of the time, they are in a very, very good place. They feel very much at peace. They feel very calm. And then they feel there is no need to worry. And people who worried about their kids all day long and can't switch off tend to literally relax, because your energies are balanced, your energies are aligned, and you're very much emotionally in control. Then no matter what life throws at you, you are literally ready to handle, because you're emotionally stronger. When we are not emotionally stronger, we feel every little bump in life. And then we say, oops, another one and another one. I usually give my clients a theory. Let's say you're going on a road and it's a very bumpy road. So every 5 seconds, there's a bump, which means you have to drive your car very slow to go over the bump. Now, if your tires were down, you would feel every single bump because the pressure is low. And that's how we feel when we're emotionally low. Every little bump, every little curb we feel. Now, if you put the pressure or air in those tires and you're reasonably high enough, you're going to go over it smoothly. You're not going to feel the bump. Yes, you're going over it, but you don't feel it. It's exactly how you feel when you're emotionally stronger, when you're emotionally in control. You go over the bumps without feeling them. And that's what balancing chakras and Reiki does for you.
Wow, I love that explanation. That's a great metaphor. I love that.
I know, and in my work, where my work is, every 5 seconds there's a bump. And I remember once my pressure was low and I came up with this theory, I said, this is just perfect, because it really does explain when we're emotionally low, how we feel everything. And when you're emotionally stronger, there's so many things you don't even pay attention to because you can handle it.
Yeah, that's really interesting, because I do feel, because and I don't like to put this label on myself too much, because obviously it can be negatively picked up on in terms of what I feel in my body. But because I am a sensitive person, if you like, to anybody else's energy, whether it's an irritation in somebody's voice, that can feel like a punch to me. Even if, a slight sort of irritable response or frustration from somebody else, I feel it, I know it, and it feels very, very strong, powerful, energetic, even though it's not a physical punch.
Yeah.
I feel it like that in my body. So I know I'm sort of reacting to what I'm picking up from other people in an oversensitive way. So what you said absolutely makes sense.
Yeah. And like I said, it really doesn't take long to balance those chakras. I have actually created a course. It teaches you, there's 6 modules to the course, and one of the module, it teaches you how to balance your chakras. So you literally, people obviously come to me to have those chakras balanced because they feel they want to get away from home. They just want to be somewhere away from family, away from husband or wife, and just have 45 minutes of bliss and peace. So they come to me and I'll tell them, do the course, then you don't have to spend money every week at my place. But they said, no, Monika, we're coming to see you. But there is a course that people who can't come to me, that 6 module literally talks about energies and how they impact you and how you balance those chakras and how to literally live your life the way you want. Because once you're balanced, once you're aligned, you don't work harder. You're not going against the flow. You are literally attracting what you want with a very little effort. And that's all we need in life. Little effort, great results.
Yeah, that sounds perfect. So working smarter, not harder.
Absolutely.
So you spoke at the start about actually talking our audience through some very powerful techniques that they can use to enable them to release their stress or overcome their stress. Would you be able to talk about that now?
Yeah, absolutely. So today I want to talk about 2 techniques. One that it can sort of help you instantly while you are going through the stress time. So let's say you are feeling really angry, annoyed, or snappy, or just not in control of your emotions. What I would like you to do, I will run through the technique with you, and then we will all do it together so we get the rhythm of it. So you're going through a difficult time, you're angry, you're frustrated, and you really, really want to give somebody the peace of your mind. I would like you, it's hard at times, but give it a try. I would like you to breathe through your nose for 4 seconds, hold the breath for 4 seconds, and breathe out through your mouth for 4 seconds. So I'm going to repeat the instructions one more time, and then we will do it. Breathe through your nose for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, and breathe out for 4 seconds. So let's do this together. Come on, Lynn, you can do this with me.
I will do it with you, definitely.
Right, okay. So breathe in, hold, and breathe out. And I would like everyone to do that 4 times. So let's go second time. Breathe in, hold, and breathe out. Third time. Breathe in, hold, and breathe out. Last time. Breathe in, hold, and breathe out. And this technique instantly promotes the state of calmness. It helps you relax your heart and your head. So when your head and heart are relaxed, you don't tend to overreact or react to situations negatively because you got the handle of your breathing. It's when we get angry, we shallow breathe, we breathe and we're reacting and our body's responding to the stress. But when you take control of your breathing, it relaxes your body. It relaxes your stress response, which is fight or freeze or flight. You're very much back in control. And then you go from that position and handle whatever you need to handle.
Love it. Feel instantly grounded.
It literally brings you back into harmony, because then you focus on your breathing, you focus on your holding, you're focusing on many other things because you've taken the focus off your stress or the situation you're going through. You totally took yourself off that moment back into harmony.
And I suppose really we take our breath for granted, don't we? We don't realise the power of just doing something like that simple exercise.
Also, we don't realise the power of shallow breathing, that you are literally making your body agitated. We don't realise when we're angry, frustrated, snapping, we're shallow breathing, we're agitated, we're heart palpitating, we're all sorts of things are going through your body. And if you literally focus on your breathing, one thing only, your body responds beautifully. And it comes back into harmony to say, what the hell am I responding that for? Let's go back into harmony. So you literally control one thing, and that's your breathing, and everything else follows.
Love it. Thank you so much for sharing that one. And I believe you've got another technique you'd love to share with us as well.
Yes. So I will run through this technique very slow because it's slightly longer, and I'll run through the benefits, how it works, then the steps, and then we will do it together. Right. So this technique is called triple warmer smoothie. I learned this technique from somebody called Donna Eden, who does energy medicine. And this technique it's a triple warmer, which is a meridian that controls our fight, flight, or freeze response. And triple warmer, when it's in high alert, it creates the fight, flight response. But when you work on the triple warmer and when you work backwards, you're creating the harmony, you're creating that peace and calmness. This exercise can help you release the tension and return you to calmness very fast. Now, doing this technique, it's only 30-second techniques. If you do it 3 times in the morning, 3 times in the afternoon, and 3 times just before you're going to bed, and if you did that for a few days, you will see your stress and anxiety is drastically reduced. And then once after a week, if you feel you're very much in control of your emotions and you've got a handle on your stress and anxiety, you can reduce it. But it's literally taking you 3 minutes a day to be in control of your emotion, be in control of your life, and be in control of your moods. So I say it's worth doing it every single day. Right, so let's run through this technique. Now remember, if you find this technique very simple, very easy to follow, don't forget this technique is very powerful. How powerful? When I had a client, she was suffering with panic attacks. She was having 5-6 panic attacks a day and 5-6 panic attacks a night. We did a few Reiki sessions, balanced those energies, and I gave her this technique to do. She did these techniques and she came back 2 weeks after and said, Monika, I have not had a single panic attack since. So that's how powerful these techniques can be when done regularly and done right.
Wow, that's fantastic.
It's really good. And sometimes I used to give these techniques to some of my clients, and they would go learn the technique, come back and say, I forgot. And then I'll give it to them again and give it to them again. And then I say, you know what? Because you don't pay anything for it, there's no value to it. And now I charge for the technique, and everybody come back with a positive result because they paid for it and they make sure they go and do it. So when something is given or it's too simple, people don't see the value in it. But you gotta do it to see the value in it. So please do the technique. It's a very powerful Very simple and very easy to do. Okay, so I would like you to rub your hands. Put your hands on your eyes. Breathe in through your nose. And when you breathe out through your mouth, I would like you to drag your finger across your eyes and rest them on your temples. Breathe in and out. This time, when you breathe in, I would like you to take your fingers behind your ears. So breathe in, take your fingers behind your ears, touch your ears, bring them all the way down onto your neck. Hold your shoulders and drop your arms. Breathe in and out. Bring your hands onto your heart and do a couple of breaths here. Breathe in and out. One more time. Breathe in and out. So let's do this together. Rub your hands, put your fingers on your eyes and breathe in. Breathe in and out. Breathe in. And when you breathe out, drag your fingers across your eyes and onto your temples. Breathe in. And you can take a couple of breaths here. There is no huge pattern that you have to do only one breath. You can take a couple of breaths if you like, just to relax you. Breathe in again. And this time when you breathe out, go behind your ears, all the way down, touching your neck, down to your shoulders, and drop your arms. Hold your shoulders, squeeze your shoulders, and drop your arms. Breathe in and out. Drop your hands on your heart and do a couple of breaths here. Breathe in and out. And breathe in and out. Now the triple warmer technique, the triple warmer, impacts your immune system and your ability to manage stress. So when it's activated, your body is on high alert. But when we practice this technique, tracing your triple warmer meridian backwards, it can sedate, calm your fight and flight response. So you're literally working backwards, retraining your body to say, it's okay. We don't need to react. We don't need to respond so strongly. We are in control. So every time you do this technique, you're working backwards. You're taking your body back to where it's supposed to be, which is calm and in control situation rather than fight or flight.
Fabulous, because I think, I certainly can relate to having been through trauma in my past, and I'm definitely going to practice that now, because I do realise that through most of my adult life, I've been in that high alert state.
This is it. Sometimes we don't realise it. I remember years ago when I really didn't believe into meditation and stuff, and my friend used to say, Monika, you're always busy running around. Do meditation. I said, what? I don't have the time to sit down for 10 minutes and do nothing. Listen to the music and breathe in and breathe out. Who's got that much time? I could be doing something else in those 10 minutes. But now I realize the importance of meditation. What meditation, in a very simple term, teaches you, it's okay to slow it down. Because when you slow it down, you're more fast and you're more effective. Running around all the time doesn't mean you're productive, you're fast or effective. You're just literally running around and you're getting your body on high alert, and you're just always dealing with crisis or putting your body through so much stress. But if you meditate and then get on with your day, you're very much clear in your head. You're in control of your emotions, you're in control of your feelings, and you're more fast and effective, and you're more focused. So it's okay to slow down in order to be fast and effective.
Certainly is. So for the benefit of the audience that doesn't really know or have an idea of what actual meditation actually means, what would be your definition of what meditation is, Monika?
Meditation to me, if you've never done meditation before, I'll just say sit somewhere comfortably without any distractions. Put a nice relaxing music on. You can YouTube the music, you can put relaxing music, or you can put relaxing Reiki music. Put the music on. And if you struggle to sit there for too long, start with 5 minutes. Just give yourself 5 minutes. You can lie down, you can sit down on the floor, cross legs, whatever feels comfortable. As long as you're comfortable is the key. And put the nice relaxing music on with no distraction. And either focus on the music or focus on the breathing. Once you focus on one or the other, you literally can't focus on anything else. A lot of people say thoughts will come, thoughts will go, but I think when you focus on something, breathing or music, literally you can't focus on anything else. And if the thoughts do come through, acknowledge them and let them go. They come, acknowledge, let them go, and just go through that 5 minutes, and then build your practice few minutes at a time. If you're happy and comfortable with 5 minutes and you loved it and you felt peace, up it to 7 minutes or 10 minutes and just build from there. All it's doing is bringing your breathing in check. It's giving your brain that is busy all the time some time out. It's bringing your head and heart in harmony, because sometimes head and heart are always in conflict. When they're in harmony, you tend to create magic because they're working together in what you want rather than in conflict all the time.
Brilliant. Love it. And it's just a case of getting used to sort of being still, isn't it? Quieting your mind, like you say, focusing on something like your breathing or the music to actually stop that mind chatter, and help yourself get out of your head.
Yeah, absolutely. And once you go into the silent mode, you enjoy that because your muscles are relaxed, your legs, your shoulders, your head is relaxed, and sometimes body just need that few minutes recovery period, so you can run around and do many things after. But it's giving your body, your mind, and your heart that few minutes to recharge. It's just like when we put petrol in a car, or when we charge a car. So when we charge whatever battery we put in because we're running out of battery, is literally meditation is like that. You're giving your body to recharge so you can use it to full steam.
Brilliant. So on that note, Monika, thank you so much for sharing those techniques and for your great explanations about what you do and what your definition of meditation is. What's your best contact information for any audience members that would like to get in touch with you?
Yeah, I'll give you one contact. We'll give you email. So if anybody is interested in anything I do, or if you would like some help or any techniques or tips on how to reduce stress and anxiety, it's Monika with K, Monika at Master Divine. Divine is spelled Divine, Monika at masterdivinehealth.com.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. I've really enjoyed that and participating in the exercises. I feel quite chilled.
Yeah, you practice it, definitely, Lynn. Practice it few times a day and you will know. And in fact, do let me know after how you felt after a few days. And that should also make a difference in the indigestion, acid reflux, any issues that are going on in your tummy. It should calm it down in a few days' time. So do let me know.
Thank you. I will do that. So on that note, listeners, thank you, Monika, for being my special guest today and for sharing her techniques. So finally, I would just like to say, as I always finish, true love starts with opening our hearts. And until next time, goodbye for now.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to the Hearts Entwined podcast. You can follow Lynn via the Facebook group Two Hearts Entwined, or search Lynn Smith, inspirational speaker, at LinkedIn, or email lynn@hearts-entwined.com. That's LYN@hearts-entwined.com. Remember, true love starts with opening our hearts.